Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And welcome back, everybody. Yes, we should be kind to one another. We should be kind to ourselves. We're going to look at that today through many different lenses, but also, when does that kindness turn into manipulation? Don't ever want to go there. She is somebody that helps people with many different modalities have these spiritual realizations, move their lives forward. She's just wonderful on different platforms that she offers, and she's back with us. I like to call her ME, also known as MaryElizabeth, and she's our Professional of the Year. Welcome. How you doing?
I am fabulous. Thank you. It's so nice to see you again.
You too. You too. And you're the founder of the Inner Self LLC. And I think I shared with you, I end a radio show every day with be kind to yourself and others. And it just one day years ago hit me that that's the message that needs to be out there, because there's a lack of kindness, I believe, and even to ourselves. Overall thoughts on kindness in the even the spiritual lens of things. What are your thoughts?
Kindness is your natural way of being. You are all naturally born kind. That is innate to the human mind. That is the space you are meant to be. You are taught from a very young age through, how should we say, the example of others, what kindness is and what kindness isn't. It's the choice you make. It's really the only free will choice you have. Who am I going to be in this moment in time? Am I going to allow kindness and integrity to lead? Or am I going to choose manipulation, you see? And some can say they're being kind, but they're using their kindness to get others to shift their perspective, shift their mind to do what they want them to do. That isn't necessarily of the utmost integrity. So kindness and integrity go hand in hand.
Why do, and before I even get to that, it's my belief that when two babies are born, assuming they're healthy, doesn't even matter what culture they're from, what language they speak, they're equal. So like literally a clean slate. There's been nothing pressed upon them in terms of, yes, there's some genetics there for sure, but just overall, it's a clean slate. And then life takes place. Even as children, they learn things, they interpret things in a certain way, form an opinion, and then life begins, and then they become adults. What happens to kindness? Where does it derail along the way? Why aren't we just kind to each other? Why aren't we just nice to each other?
Because we're not always nice to ourselves. That's where kindness derails. That's where kindness derails. When you can be kind to yourself, it's easier to be kind to another. When you, as we've said previously, when you can love yourself, you can love other. But when there is a moment of judgment coming through, kindness loses ground, you see. It slips into the background because judgment is the key to allowing yourself to see, am I going to be kind and stand in my integrity, or am I going to manipulate what I think of myself or what I think of others through the lens that society is teaching me? And society could be your parents, your friends, people around you. You speak of babies being born equal. That is absolutely true. And if you watch two children playing, there is no disruption based on how they look when they are little children. That changes as they grow because it is a learned behavior to judge another that is different than you.
That's exactly the visual, MaryElizabeth, I had. And there's, you see those videos pop up from time to time, and they're super cute, where you see two babies, two children, small children from different races, and they don't know what color they are. It doesn't even matter. They're just having fun together. They're just playing together. Great point you bring up in that, and I believe hurt people hurt people.
Exactly.
So that belief transcends to why we're not kind to others, because we're not kind to ourselves, and we don't even realize it. Or we're not being kind. We don't see it any other way most of the time, because we're just operating on, past programs, subconscious, however you want to phrase it. How do you make that shift, that intentional, genuine shift to being kind?
You have to begin with yourself. You have to begin with how you speak to yourself when you look in the mirror. You have to begin with how you judge yourself, so to speak, as you are doing things. I mean, used to have an expression that she would say often, and it would, if something didn't go the way she wanted to do, she would say, well, that is stupid. No, it wasn't. It just didn't go the way you wanted it to. But that's a judgment. So anytime you hear yourself judging your own actions, your own thoughts, you need to stop and say, again, this is where Fred comes into play. It's just a programming. You are programmed to. So you have to program yourself to be kind to the person you see in the mirror, to the person that is the creator of your life, because you are that creator. You are that person. So if you are allowing the manipulation of the lies that you have told yourself, that you have taken on as yours, because the majority of children will mimic their parents, you see. The majority of children take on the energy of a parent's insecurity. It's not a conscious action. It's just what is. So it has to be caught at a young age. And that's a simple thing. When, interestingly enough, when a child is upset, sit with them and say, okay, let's take a moment to breathe. And again, no matter how old a child is, you can get them to breathe with you. You understand? Even a little baby who is upset, if you are doing breathing techniques in front of them, they will mimic that energy. And when you are in breath, you are in the now. And in the now, judgment cannot be. Do you understand that? Judgment cannot be. So then you address in that moment what it is am I feeling? Why am I feeling insecure? Why am I feeling threatened? What triggered my reaction? The majority of time when one looks in the mirror and makes a face or says something unkind, it's simply a learned behavior. It's not even what they believe in that moment. It's just an automatic. As we have said previously, you must shift your mindset. You must live in the awareness of the now moment. Do you understand?
Completely. Because the now moment is beautiful. There's no judgment. Just slice the second right here. That was great. Or the next one that's about to come here. But don't think about the past. Don't think about the future. And it's so true, even depending on how you were raised, even your age, because it was if you're a certain age, let's say you're a boomer, it was a different time back when you were a kid and people had opinions on other people and races. A lot of that has gone away. However, back then, different time, and you still internalized it. You were still programmed. And I'm not throwing any parents under the bus or relatives or anything like that, but that's what happened. You heard these things.
Because they were taught. That's what they were taught.
Right.
Racism is taught. Seeing the difference. You've all seen, as you said, the clips of the two little boys. One is white, one is black. They think of each other as twins.
Yeah.
They don't see the difference. There is no difference, you see. They don't see it because it does not exist. They are taught as they grow. Racism is not a natural response. It's a manipulation. It's a feeling of insecurity when faced with something different than me. And that is where all issues stem, you see. When people feel insecure with something that is unfamiliar to them.
Manipulation. let's talk about that. So we talked about kindness versus manipulation or related to. You just used that word, so you just opened the door. So let's talk about it. How do you define it?
Manipulation is a lie. That's the easiest way to define it. Manipulation is a lie. You are using facts, you are using opinions, you are using situations to create an energy that allows another to follow your lead without questioning. Do you understand what we mean by that? There is a space in time where each of you go into your mind and think about what is being said to you. But when one of the phrases that is prevalent right now is gaslighting. When you hit a space of objection, you push through in a manner that may not be 100% true. When all you have to say when you get an objection is, I see your point. Let's discuss that. Instead of trying to railroad another into believing as you. Do you understand what we say? In that moment, in that time, you get to choose, am I going to push through my agenda or am I going to be kind? The kind is, I see your point of view. I may not agree, but I understand you. And in that space, you allow connection to be. And that is the space where kindness leads, where you allow connection to be. Manipulation is you are leading. You understand what we mean, the difference between the two.
Sure. And one of the most important things we can do is to be great listeners, because most people just want to be heard.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean you have to agree. Doesn't mean you have to agree with them. You just have to hear them.
Yes, you don't have to agree, because that is the amazing thing about being a human being. You get to choose your thoughts, you get to choose your energy. But when you are in a situation where another is not listening or you are not listening, where you are just thinking about the next thing you are going to say, you are not allowing connection to be. You are not allowing even a kindness to yourself, because there's always an opportunity to learn from another, even if they do not communicate in an avenue or in a means that you would agree. There's always a seed of knowledge that is being planted, you see. And when that seed of knowledge comes through, if you are just pushing your agenda forward, you are missing an opportunity to become more and more in your humanity.
Well, so many of us.
Go.
I'm sorry. We have the internet sputtered a little bit. So many of us get into these political conversations and then try to manipulate the conversation in a certain way because of our beliefs. And it's perfectly fine. Everybody has their own thoughts, beliefs. But how wonderful it might be if you just say to the other person after they share their belief about something, be it political, whatever, just say, it's an interesting point. I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. Just leave it be. It's it. You don't say anything more than that. So many of us have to engage. Well, this is what I think, and I don't know about you. And just walk away. It's good. We're good. Heard you out. The point is, you made your point. Interesting. I'll be on the other side over there.
Exactly. You don't have to agree. You don't have to fall in line, because you all think you must, they must believe as me. There's something wrong with them if they don't. No, they just see it from a different perspective than you. And in regards to the political, all we say there, if you are faced with a situation in front of you where you are watching unkindness lead, then you should speak. But if it's just a difference of opinion, then allow the opinions to be. Because what comes when you can do that with grace on another, and for your own self, you allow a space of growth to be. Because when you don't react, how should we say, aggressively, others will take the conversation too and think back and go, oh, I guess they had a point. That could be true. They may not 100% give you props that you are 100% correct, but it could be true. And when you can embrace the could be of another's opinion, you open a door of connection and moving forward that previously did not exist.
You use the word grace. How do you define that?
Kindness.
Okay.
It's the easiest way to put that. Grace is coming from a point of kindness and a forgiveness of self. Let me say that to you. A forgiveness of self for having a disruptive point of view. That's why we say give others grace, because it's really giving yourself grace for being triggered, for feeling the insecurity. It's from that space. Really can't give another anything except love. Grace is for you.
When I picture the word grace, I also see the word integrity kind of fly in there. Are they connected? What do you think?
Did you hear, as we said, kindness and integrity go hand in hand?
Like I said, the internet sputters a little bit.
Sorry. Kindness and integrity go hand in hand.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's...
So if grace is kindness, it is the same.
Why do you feel that we don't practice more kindness? You know, back in the day, there was a thing called random acts of kindness. They even set a day aside so we feel more comfortable doing it. But why can't we all just get in the habit of being kinder? Is it we feel we're going to get judged? What's your feeling?
Currently, within your society specifically, there is a us against them mentality that has come to be. And there has been we'll use the word propaganda, that others are trying to take what is mine. And it has become this space of energy where humanity has been left behind. And what we mean by that is the space of kindness and integrity has been pushed aside to ensure that I get what I need. I get what I need. Well, here's a guarantee. You will always get what you need when you allow kindness to be. You will always get what you need when you allow integrity to lead. It is in that space of forgetting others and becoming to a space of manipulation, because if kindness is not leading, you are manipulating. You are living in the space of fear and lie. So when you choose to see that they are taking from me, then it becomes a bitter, how should we say, push and pull between human beings. If you really open your eyes, kindness exists everywhere you are. If you walk down the streets of New York, you can see those who are being kind. They exist. They smile as you walk by. They acknowledge the homeless on the side of the street. They bring acts of kindness for simple things. They open the door for the next person coming through. Those are all acts of kindness. They're just not publicized as you'd like them to be. Your society focuses on the energy that permeates the us against them mentality. But that, in truth, is not the majority. You are leaning to a point where it is becoming more so prevalent than we would like it to be, because you are pulling from your center point energy. But it has not disappeared. As you say, When you do your radio, you speak of it daily. And that's all it takes sometimes, is that gentle reminder to be kind. But the majority are kind in small, simple ways. And it has an impact that is universal, you see. So never doubt that kindness leads. Just know that fear is taken over here.
Is it a bad thing to practice kindness because it feels good? Now, where am I going with that? If you've done something for somebody, you realize, I felt good. Like the other day, I was holding the door for somebody. Family walked out, but there was some people behind them. It was an event, so I'm holding the door. And people are like, oh, you don't have to do that. I'm fine with it. Yeah, I held the door for 40, 50 seconds. Said, no problem. You keep it going. I wasn't in a rush. It was all good. But I was feeling better and better as I was doing it. And maybe a small part of me loves the way that feels. Should we feel any guilt if we just continue to do kind things because it feels good for us?
Absolutely not. When you feel good, you know you have connected to that space within that is that pure light, that love, that is you.
It's the best.
So when you feel good, that is what we want you to do. We want you to walk through life feeling that way. We want you to know that that is how you can feel each and every day. Connecting to that energy is connecting to your truth.
It perfectly backs up my mantra in the past 4 or 5 years. And it is, I say it again, love everyone. And you can love every cup. When you go to get your cup of coffee and you just thank that person, that barista, you did it great today. That tastes so good. By the way, I love your hair. Like totally fits you. Love everyone. Trust few. Unfortunately, in my experience and journey, I have to say that. Always do the right thing for all. Not the right thing just for yourself, for all. To me, that's the kindness part there. You know, the love and the kindness all go in there. What is your feeling on that mantra overall? How does that resonate with you?
The only thing we would change, instead of trust few, trust you.
Ooh, look at you.
Trust you. Because when you can trust in yourself, you will find that you will draw to you others that you can trust too. When you allow yourself to be led by kindness, and we smile because when you said the compliments that you give to make a difference, they are huge. If you were ever in public with our ME, she is constantly finding the positive to reinforce in another human being. Her friends laugh at her because she talks to all strangers equally. In this space, in this time, we remind you that that is your truth. That is who you are. Allow that to be. Trust in you, and you will draw to you those you can trust too.
And
you understand?
I do, and I would like to add to that, and I'm going to abridge my mantra. Thanks to Emmy, if you trust you or trust in you, you will be able to spot those who may not support you in the way that you believe you needed to be supported, i.e., trust them. You'll just know because your trust in you, your you
yes.
is going to, spot the trouble, if you will, should it ever exist around you. Fantastic. I know you have many different individual programs to move people forward, the tools, the guidance. What's the best way to find you? It's your name, right?
It's my name. I am MaryElizabeth.me. Or you can always text me at 661-524-4544.
We live in a very fast-paced world. Technology is fantastic, but it just adds layers of complication. You have that way of just cutting through the clutter, getting to the point, and getting on with it. What are we getting on with? Being kind to everybody. That's our message today. Thank you so much for being here. One final thing.
Yes.
I intentionally didn't invite Fred to join us today. And you mentioned Fred before. Can you please give us what that's an acronym for?
Fred is that voice in your head, and our acronym is Fear, Reaction, Energy Denied. So when you find yourself stuck in the spin, just say, shut the F up, Fred. Fear, Reaction, Energy Denied.
Thank you again. Looking forward next time we get together.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, game show host, father of 5, and all-around big dude. I'm also an expert on drama. I know all kinds of drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids. There's the bad kind like season-ending injuries. There's the necessary kind like having an agent in Hollywood. And there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your high school diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org.
Or text diploma to 97779. Message and data rates may apply. Reply STOP to opt out. That's diploma to 97779. And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.